Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central, and here's your host, Bob Hickey.
Hello, welcome to another great episode of Foxborough Central. I am Bob Hickey, your host. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to sit on back, join us as we interview the people who make, well, I won't say Foxborough special, we'll say Norfolk County special, but who interview the people who make Foxborough a great place to be. And a big piece of that is crime prevention and everything that goes along with being a district attorney. That's why my guest today is Michael Morrissey, who is our district attorney for Norfolk County.
Hello, nice to see you.
And his assistant DA, Jennifer Rowe. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Title, I just got slightly wrong. You are the assistant district attorney in charge of?
Crime prevention and community outreach projects. So my work really targets on the things that cause crime. And our strategy is pretty simple. It's opiate overdose and impaired driving crashes. And then we target the populations that are most vulnerable in those areas. And that's teens and in some instances beveterans returning with PTSD or other demographics that we feel are particularly susceptible to the kinds of driving forces behind crime in our county. And that's where we focus our resources.
Well, we've had interviews before talking about the social aspect of it and talking about prevention, but we're really here to talk about prevention, and then we go to the next step of...
Well, Norfolk County is a relatively safe county, and as far as the homicides, we see 6 to 10 a year, and they're generally people who know each other. So what is that? Domestic situations, relatives, neighbors, or even drug dealers, people who know each other. It's very rare there's a random act of violence. So as far as being safe, homicides, I think, are right up there in the Commonwealth. Half the murders in Massachusetts are committed in Suffolk County. So having looked at that and look at really what goes on, then as a district attorney, you'd have to say, Jen touched on the two areas. One is that we're still losing a person a week. Between January 1st and May 5th of this year, 23 people died of drug overdoses. And
really?
So, and that's in spite of a lot of the education that people like you do, the police, the schools that...
I was going to say there's a lot of outreach that goes on in the schools, and you read about successes and groups, but then you also see things in the news about this new designer drug, synthetic drug.
Well, Molly is out there. It's been out there for a while. Bath salts, this stuff that...
New to me. Okay, we'll go
well,
with that.
Well, new to all of us. That's why if you take a look at the office, and we place a heavy emphasis on education prevention. Prosecution is important, and I have some very capable assistant district attorneys, but we took someone with almost 20 years experience who, as a prosecutor in Suffolk and Norfolk County, and had Jennifer run the outreach programs because she's been in the courtroom and she sees what's happening. Now she has young kids and her mother's retired, so she covers both ends of the spectrum on the home front. But drugs, Molly is, you might see it, and Foxborough actually is one of those interesting places. I don't know that it's all over the county. Our biggest problem are still opiates, cocaine, Percocets,
Really?
The pain medications are still the biggest problems. Now Molly gets to be a problem probably at one of the concerts. It's so easy to hide, and you can take it in a drink, you can snort it, you can pill,
Well, I've always found it amazing that people are so willing to take something that they don't know the origin of. Prescription medications, we know presumably that if it comes from a pharmacy, it's reasonably controlled. The government has,
Right.
the Food and Drug
Molly's made in a
Administration has certain
bathtub.
controls in place. And these things that kids are taking, and adults are taking, it boggles my mind as to how
I
they
do
have that
think
level of trust.
If you showed a lot of these beautiful young kids in college that are out at a club trying this drug that's being passed around, and showed them the bathtub that it was made in, that perhaps they would pause. And it's frightening to think that they'd be willing to put something in their body without knowing what it would do to them, but maybe knowing its source might be enough to have them stop and think. But that's really what's going on with prescription drugs, exactly how you describe that. They think it's safe
yeah,
because
a doctor gave it to someone, so it must be okay to take. And,
Right.
and it is okay to take if it's for you and been prescribed for you for your condition. And
Well, in researching, the little research that I do for these programs, and I'm of course speaking with our district attorney, Michael Morrissey, interested in, I sort of dug into your website and dug into a lot of the YouTube videos that have been, videos that have been posted to YouTube through your office. So you certainly have a very robust approach to the problem. You do confront it head on. You do talk about it at length.
Jen distributes, and we produce a lot of our own videos using local cable studios or, some of our own stuff. But Jen, one of her jobs is to let the schools know that we have a vast array of resources that can be sent home to a parent or shown to children or supplement some of the health stuff. But drugs are killing, that even with Narcan, many people may or may not know what Narcan is. Narcan, the simplest way to put it, I think, is it's a nasal spray that an EMT can deliver for someone who's overdosing. And it kind of sends a signal. I'm not the chemist around here, but the long and short of it is if you're kind of in that funk and you're overdosing, then it sends a signal to the brain to wake up the receptors, and it takes you out of the...
One of your videos spoke directly to that. There was a young lady from Quincy who had overdosed and was left in the woods, and she says that she would have died had the EMTs not delivered Narcan.
Quincy, where I live, it became a pilot program for the use of Narcan with the police, and every policeman has been trained in it. In the last 2 years, over 200 people have been administered Narcan, so our numbers would be completely skewed.
So that's 200 potential deaths.
They said half of those people would have been dead without Narcan.
Wow.
And
so,
I was going to say, as concerning as all of those things are, the other drug that we worry about the most from a public safety standpoint is alcohol. And we've really, we have a very strong partnership with our school and police leaders here in Foxborough. Chief O'Leary and Superintendent Spinelli, our friends over at the Foxborough Regional Charter School, have been long-standing partners of ours with respect to underage drinking prevention work. But we've also rolled out a couple of roadway safety projects with high-risk times of year. And this summer, for example, we rolled out an Observe, Don't Overserve campaign, which targeted servers in all of the 700 licensed liquor establishments in Norfolk County. So we wanted those responsible for the service of alcohol to be vigilant and not to overserve, to train them on how to navigate a situation where you have an impaired patron and how to handle those situations. Michael's going to be hosting a tips training for servers just before the holiday hiring season gets going, and there are all of these new wait staff out in our bars and restaurants so that they can be trained on how to be responsible with
a lot of the servers
alcohol.
have that type of training, and it's a good chance to remind them that they're on the front lines every day or night. They see who's drinking, who's not, and so they can play a role and help people safe. And if it means that that someone has to come down, we refer to, and we'll talk shortly about the HERO campaign, but if they see someone who is impaired, I mean, they can say that, hey, listen, we've joined Chief O'Leary and the Foxborough Police and the District Attorney's Office, and they're really trying to enforce the fact that I shouldn't be over-serving you, so I can't give you any more. And blame the chief. He's a big guy,
He is a big guy.
Blame me, it's just the way it is.
Well, and at the conclusion, of course, we're here to talk about current issues, but also about the HERO campaign that we'll get to in just a moment. You mentioned that. At the end of this segment, we are going to see a brief video in which Chief O'Leary is part of it. So it is good to see that the chief is part of your campaign and part of working with you.
We use the chief for a couple of reasons. First of all, he's president of the Chiefs Association, well respected by his peers. The second thing is that Foxborough is unique insofar as you have probably the largest single venue of alcohol pouring in the entire county. And so you present some unique challenges and issues which no one knows better than the people here in Foxborough and Chief O'Leary. So having him with us on some of these campaigns is we have someone who's been on the front lines every weekend, obviously, in the fall in particular. But you also have venues and other things that go on at the stadium. So the stadium presents a unique challenge, and that's, I think, why the Patriots and the ownership really recognizes that they have a unique responsibility as well. And so they have adopted what's known as the HERO campaign. And the HERO campaign is named after a Navy ensign by the name of John R. Elliott, was killed coming home from shortly after his graduation from the Naval Academy, I think in 2000. He was coming home to his mother's birthday party, and he was killed by a drunk driver. Now the Elliots, Bill and Muriel, are really terrific people, and so they didn't put their head in the sand and say, this is a tragic situation. They said, what can we do out of this tragedy to make a difference for other people? And they started the Hero Foundation. And the Hero Foundation has ironically now partnered with Major League Sports, particularly the National Football League. And what does that mean? Well, it's very simple. People have seen when you walk into the game, there are people usually trying to sign you up and say, sign up for the Hero campaign, sign up for the Hero Foundation. They give you a wristband.
A wristband, yes.
And the wristband, now the good news around here, the wristband gives you access to a free soft drink at the stadium, which is probably about a $6 or $8 drink. But so it's you got to make money somehow. But they give you a free drink, which is in and of itself we think important. But that means that someone has to step forward and say that I'm the hero, I'm the designated driver today. And so we want people, as does the chief, and I'm sure the people here in Foxborough, we want them to enjoy the experience they have at Foxborough Stadium. And drinking, I'm sure, is part of that. Well, and the Hero campaign doesn't say don't drink, which is what we like about it. It says drink responsibly.
That's a very interesting approach, because it is, there's certain things that we know we shouldn't do as adults, as people, and yet we also like to do certain things as adults, as people.
Sure.
And so part of the experience is meeting people, spending time with people, tailgating, if you will.
Sure, and we're not, and I don't think Foxborough is saying that, and then the district attorney's office clearly isn't saying that. What we're saying is, you just have to, some moderation, and hey, have a great time, but let's just make sure someone's going to get you home. And that we think, and I guess that's the true hero, the person who probably doesn't drink and says, hey, I'll take responsibility for the rest of them and get you home. So we like that message, and so much so that we're now trying to get it out into the restaurants, the pouring establishments in Norfolk County. So if the three of us are sitting here at a table and a waiter or waitress came over and said, the first thing they usually say, can I, they give you the menu and they say, can I get anybody something to drink? Mm-hmm. And they just say, okay, get beer or whatever. But we want them to ask the second question: who's the designated driver, or is there anybody here a designated driver?
Interesting. And
if they ask the second question, then so if you and I are going to have a beer, and Jen raises her hand and says she's a designated driver, then she's going to get a free Coke, and arguably we will get home, and get home safely, and probably have a couple beers and not feel guilty about it.
That's a very noble approach, and one that I think I'm a former liquor license holder myself, and I'm thinking back to how that would have worked, and that's an interesting
approach.
It's
a soda. That's what it is.
A soda pop.
And what we know
from a business owner's standpoint, it would have been zero cost. It's
right.
Nothing.
Well, the other thing is, you and I might have, instead of having one beer, we may have 2 or 3 beers because
I'm not worried about that.
Driving.
Right, exactly. So now would be a great time. In fact, you mentioned the Hero campaign. You mentioned what it's about. I think now would be a great time for us to watch this short video that was provided by your office that really puts a fine point on what the program is about. So why don't we sit on back and enjoy the video.
Hi, I'm Bill Elliott, chairman of the John R. Elliott Hero Campaign for Designated Drivers, the fastest growing program to prevent drunk driving by promoting the use of safe and sober designated drivers. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about the Hero Campaign, which is now in Boston, Norfolk County, and at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Soon we'll be holding the Hero Walk at Gillette Stadium to raise both funds and awareness for the Hero Campaign, and we invite you to join us for this exciting event. This is Egg Harbor Township High School, where our son John graduated in 1996 as president of his class. And he went on to the United States Naval Academy, where he graduated near the top of his class and was named the Outstanding Hero of the Year. 2 months later, as John was driving home from Annapolis to our home in New Jersey for his mother's birthday celebration, he was hit and killed by a drunken driver, ending his life and all his dreams of serving his country. But out of his death came the inspiration for the Hero Campaign, which is now saving lives throughout the country. We thought you'd like to hear more about the Hero Campaign, starting with a message home from John and his sister Jennifer.
Hey Mom, Dad, Jenny, this is John, saying hi from the Academy. Plebe summer was definitely an experience, a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. Got to accomplish a lot of things I never thought I could, never done before in my life. Learned a lot about teamwork, responsibility, and how to succeed and accomplish all the goals I set for myself in life. Now that I'm 6 weeks in academic year, it's a whole new world, whole new responsibilities, different types of challenges. Have this my exams coming up this week. It's definitely going to be something to look forward to. Herndon's the big thing over here. Can't wait. 247 days. Definitely going to be the first one on top of Herndon. And I just want to thank you guys a lot for all the support back home. It's really helped me a lot. All the care packages, those chocolate chip cookies are great. No one makes cookies like you, Mom. Can't wait to see you guys again.
John was the best big brother I could ever have. John was also my best friend. I could never have been more proud of John as I was the day that I saw him graduate from the Naval Academy in Annapolis. When I found out about John being killed, it was the worst nightmare that I could ever imagine come true. John was my hero, and now it's our chance to be a hero to others by being a designated driver.
Let's review the HERO campaign goals. We want to register 1 million sober designated drivers to end drunk driving nationwide. Emphasize the role of personal responsibility in ending drunk driving. Make having a designated driver as automatic as wearing a seatbelt. And save lives by changing behavior and encouraging responsible choices. We'd like to thank the New England Patriots and the New England Revolution for registering 80,000 designated driver heroes over the last 5 years. Heroes receive free soft drinks to Gillette Stadium's concessions and at Patriot Place participating restaurants. The Patriots and Patriot Place are hosts to the 2013 Hero Walk at Gillette Stadium on October 20th. Patriot Place and many of the restaurants at Patriot Place will be participating in the Hero Walk as sponsors and will include teams. They also honor Hero wristbands and provide free soft drinks to designated drivers. We would also like to recognize and thank the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office and Michael Morrissey for helping to promote the Hero campaign throughout Norfolk County in area schools and colleges, law enforcement agencies, veterans groups, and bar and tavern owners, along with area businesses. They'll also be a sponsoring partner in our Hero Walk. Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey believes the partnership is especially meaningful as drunk driving is one of Norfolk County's biggest problems. A county of commuters with Gillette Stadium as the area's premier destination, drunk drivers are the second leading cause of deaths in Norfolk County. Last year, according to the district attorney, 40 lives were lost in Norfolk County at the hand of drunk drivers. And the Hero campaign is making a difference. According to the Century Council, statistics show that in New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, and much of the Northeast, there's been a reduction in DUI fatalities. Some of that is due to the efforts of the Hero campaign to educate people about the importance of having designated drivers. What programs do your funds support? Outdoor billboards and radio commercials, posters, banners, window decals, and brochures. Special events like our Hero Walk. School and college education programs, social media, Speakers Bureau presentations, Hero registration drives at schools and at sports stadiums like Gillette Stadium, and our Hero Bar and Tavern program, where participating bars and taverns serve free soft drinks to designated drivers. And the Hero campaign is attracting national media attention. CNN recently featured the Hero campaign when they did an article on the importance of having designated drivers during prom season. On Sunday, October 20th, we hope you'll join us for the first Hero Walk at Gillette Stadium, joining other students, teachers, members of the community, and businesses in their support for the Hero campaign and our life-saving mission to promote designated driving. Of the 2,000 supporters who came out for the Ocean City, New Jersey Walk last year on the Ocean City Boardwalk, 600 were students. We hope to equal that at the Gillette Stadium Walk on October the 20th. Cheerleading teams, athletic teams, and all kinds of sports organizations and student organizations, plus the military, came out, along with law enforcement and veterans groups. This is what one superintendent and principal of Egg Harbor Township High School in New Jersey had to say about the student participation.
We are very excited to have over 500 people here today and represented through the Egg Harbor Township School District family. There's been a lot of support, a lot of buzz throughout the school district, and we just can't be prouder. We just are so excited to have that many people out here supporting the HERO campaign and supporting Egg Harbor Township School District.
I think this is great for our students. It gives them not only education about being safe with drinking and driving, but also being responsible. And one of the most important things for the Egg Harbor Township Schools is teaching students about character, and what John Elliott stood for is all character. And so we're really happy that our students are getting a chance to live out what we teach them every day in school today with thousands of other people around Egg Harbor Township and the surrounding community.
In addition to supporting the HERO campaign and our life-saving message to promote designated driving, your school will have a chance to compete for a $500 award for your next After Prom program. And all students from Norfolk County and beyond will receive community service credits for participating in the HERO Walk. Thank you for being with us for these few minutes, and we hope you'll join us on this great HERO campaign. We'd like to thank the New England Patriots, Patriot Place, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, and Tedeschi's for helping us sponsor the upcoming HERO Walk Sunday, October 20th at Gillette Stadium. We hope to see you all there. Take care.
Wow, that was a very important video to watch. Thank you for sharing that with us. So as we talk about the HERO campaign, there's a HERO Walk fundraiser coming up. Want to share about that?
Tell you, I mean, we think supporting the activities of the HERO Foundation are important, and Jen will tell you a little bit about the walk.
Well, on October 20th, D.A. Morrissey, together with the New England Patriots, the New England Revolution, Pepsi, and Tedeschi's, is hosting the very first HERO Walk at Gillette Stadium. It begins at 11 and registration is at 9. And we have really encouraged high school aged and college aged young adults to participate, as well as families from Norfolk County. We feel that this is sending a very strong message about responsible decision making on a main cause of loss of life in our county. We know from our youth risk surveys that 30% of high school juniors and seniors say that they get into a car knowing the driver is impaired. And what we don't know is how many of those kids are talking about their parents or other adults in their lives, not just their peers, when they...
The assumption is always that it's a peer, but...
Right. We don't think so. And we feel that the HERO campaign is a very important way for a parent or another person in a position of trust and responsibility in a young adult's life to say, I care about you enough to not drink while our family goes out to eat and to be the designated driver. So we are lending our support to the inaugural HERO Walk. We are encouraging fall athletic teams, SAD groups, peer leadership groups across the county to join us. D.A. Morrissey is going to be awarding 20 hours of community service towards the graduation requirement of high school aged kids.
Yeah, some school systems have a volunteer nonprofit, or
well, also National Honor Society
sure.
has community service requirements. Many social groups do, so it's a very nice offer.
That and the other thing too is we think that we do some. We try not to, where possible, convict people. You have many instances like. Your favorite is the what's the big concert that they
Country Fest.
Country Fest
has
there's not necessarily a lot of arrests, but there are a lot of people who are detained in protective custody, and there are a substantial amount of arrests. I guess I would say this year it seemed to be a little less because the police are very vigilant, but kids make mistakes. Young kids in the possession of alcohol, and you don't want to necessarily see them get a criminal record out of that. If they're assaulting someone, that's different. But I mean, that just the general nuisance of underage drinking, then they have to. The Chief O'Leary works with us and the Foxborough prosecutor to make sure that these kids learn a valuable lesson about making good decisions, and that decision may require court costs, come back and do community service here in the town. That they may have to. I think that your buses usually look pretty good about October when the chief lines up and kids come back and they owe the town some time because of their activities. I think the buses get cleaned is one of the activities. But there's a number of things that you said a little message.
Well, it is an important message, and it's an important lesson for them to learn. And rather than going through the juvenile justice system.
Right.
And
They still get
sometimes you end up in different places than you really want.
Well, they end up in the courthouse, and the judge makes it clear to them that that they are catching a little bit of a break, and that they have up until, I think he puts them all on. I was there this year, and they put them all on probation until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Right. If you have not completed your obligations and fulfilled your contract that you signed with the district attorney's office, then he will see you on that Wednesday, and you will not be happy about that.
But the win is that we're not making a young adult unemployable or ineligible for higher education. That's not a win for us. The win is that no one was hurt, and that there wasn't a crash that took a beautiful young life, and we are trying to encourage that good decision making every way we possibly can.
Well, that's an important message for, particularly for kids out there to understand, is that mistakes you make can follow you. And what seems like a great idea off in the
old days, today, I'm older than you guys. In the old days,
just slightly.
They used to say
by a lot.
They used to say that gee, Bob, you screwed up. You're going to court, and the judge would say, Mr. Hickey said you have two choices here. I'm going to send you to the House of Correction for a year, or you can go down and you can join the Army. Join the service. Well, in the 60s and 70s.
Back in the day, yes.
Well, ironically, these days, you cannot get in the service if you have any kind of record, even the tattoos and things that you do to your body that could eliminate you from certain service. And so they're taking kids who are testing. We have a friend of ours' son who just graduated from the Maritime Academy, and normally you can go right into the service as an officer. But now they want you to have like a 3.2 grade point average or high before they take in the officer program. So, he's going to go in the service, but not as an officer. And so, I think he wishes he'd probably tried a little bit harder at school. But they're being so particular, and so this is just one of those things that Jen said we don't want people to get a record that don't deserve a record. People who do obviously get one, but we want to get the message out there that a lot of what we do is not just prosecution, but it's prevention.
Well, that's a good message to send out to the youth, because all too often they make decisions based upon what's going to happen today and tomorrow and this weekend. And it's tough to think about what your life. I don't know if any of us really envisioned that we'd be sitting here 30 some odd years ago, but life does carry forward, and what you do today does impact what happens tomorrow. So great message. With the Hero Walk, let's get some important information out about that. And I'm, of course, joined by District Attorney Michael Morrissey and Assistant DA Jennifer Rowe. Jennifer, with the Hero Walk coming up on October 20th at Gillette Stadium, if I want to join individually, how do I get set up for that?
You can, there's a lot of walk information on our website, which is www.norfolkda.com. You can register online to walk as an individual or as a family, or enter a team into the Hero Walk. The registration fee for an adult is $20. It's $10 for a student in high school or college. I think $5 if you're under 14. Okay. And in terms of the community service obligations, we're not requiring a minimum amount of fundraising for a student to earn the 20 hours. We want a student in good faith to attempt to fundraise. They will be required to pay the $10 registration fee, and then obviously participate in the walk. And what we hope is to see teams of young adults walking together, thinking about this important message. They'll have a chance to hear from Mr. and Mrs. Elliott that day, to watch some of the videos about their handsome son and what he meant to them, and how this tragedy can really be put into a context that we hope will be a teachable moment for everyone in our backyard. And
they will go teach someone else about it.
Right.
The fact that someone says, geez, I didn't walk the Hero Walk, what was that? You get a chance to tell them what it is. So we think that they can be a walking billboard for us as well.
And of course, it's a horrible tragedy what happened, but hopefully through that senseless tragedy will come some good.
And we have our own endless supply of local tragedies, unfortunately, and that's what's so frustrating for us as prosecutors, is that kids keep making the same dangerous decisions, even with so many devastating examples in their own backyard. And we hope that by a variety of messages that we're sending out and saturating the county with this idea of being a hero and being a designated driver as a very positive choice that you can make. It's not missing the fun, it's saving your friends' lives potentially, that perhaps will change. Try to get a kid to throw away a plastic water bottle. They won't do it, they will recycle it. And that's only because they were told over and over and over again that that's what you do.
Right.
It's automatic. So we hope that we'll do the same thing with making a good decision.
Yeah, everybody having community norms, having people think everybody doesn't drink or take pills. And so getting that message out there is equally important, is that, in order to have a good time, you don't have to, take pain pills or opiates, and you don't have to drink.
And as society progresses and more has changed, cigarette smoking, what it was back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, is significantly different than what it is now.
You can't smoke in a building, a public building, a restaurant. I mean, I still had friends who were complaining, I forget where they were, I think in Florida or something, the people still smoking on the outdoor patios. At least they have moved out of the restaurants into the patios, but Florida, being more of a year-round destination, has a lot of outdoor venues.
Sure.
So people, quote, outdoors are still smoking, and they were kind of offended by it. They're so used to it here. So if we can send the message, and that's why using social media, using programs like this, Facebook and anything that we can to get the message out, we think is important.
I'm going to give you the last word, but before we do that, Hero Walk on Sunday, October 20th at Gillette Stadium. How do we register again?
You can go to www.theherowalk.org and select the Foxborough Walk at Gillette Stadium, and you'll see all of the links to register, or you can go to our website, norfolkda.com.
And before we go, I'd like to thank you, Jennifer, for
thank you for having us.
Taking the time to come out. Mr. Morrissey, you get the final word, and after you're done, we're going to go right to a video that is pretty poignant, and also our own Chief O'Leary makes a cameo appearance, so hopefully folks will stay and watch that.
The Chief has been a great partner, the Foxborough Police. If you have, trying to remind some of the seniors and others who have medication in their medicine cabinets, take them down to the police station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The Foxborough Police will take pain medication no longer needed, and they will dispose of it properly. And if you can help us, for parents who may be watching this, even kids, help us send the right word. Is that we're not drinking under 21, as I tell the kids, that's against the law. And drinking and driving is the biggest issue that we face, besides the opiate threat as well. So help us with the issue and send the right message to your friends and family. But the Hero Walk is one of those simple messages. It doesn't say don't enjoy yourself. It doesn't say don't drink. It just act responsibly, make good decisions. So we hope that people will just listen to the message that the Elliots do such a great job putting out there.
A strong message. Thank you very much for sharing it with us. And thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. If you missed any of that information, feel free to log on to our website at www.fcatv.org, and you get all this good information. Sit back, enjoy the video. Take care, Foxborough.
I'm Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office is proud to support the HERO campaign for designated drivers, named in honor of Naval Ensign John R. Elliott, who was killed by a drunk driver on July 22, 2000. This season, you can help us save lives and keep drunk drivers off our roads. Be a hero, be a designated driver, and help us make Norfolk County a safer place for everyone.
Help keep our roads safe this season. Be a hero. Be a designated driver. Be a hero!